Hi there. Dr. Aniket Banvi is a naturopathy and yoga specialist doctor. He has attended numerous international conferences on the topic of health and has been a speaker on wellness areas to do with this field of specialization, which is yoga and naturopathy. In this episode, we'll be discussing about the essence of naturopathy and its teachings and how we can stay healthy. Okay, this is the essence and crux of this episode today. And without any further delay, let us invite Dr. Aniket Banvi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you once again. I'm glad to be back here,
Pleasure.
talking about health and wellness and many more other aspects as well of the naturopathy and yoga.
Great. So let's begin. So, first question to you is this, Dr. Aniket. What is the essence or teachings of naturopathy as far as staying healthy is concerned?
So, this question has a very appropriate answer from the naturopathy itself. What they state is that they have a 10 principles which they follow. And these 10 principles are the foundation for a person to understand about health and wellness, more about that, to understand their own body, so that they can become their own doctors in their life. Not to a doctor at least, but to understand, only person who can understand your body well is you. Not a doctor, not a healer, not a guru, to an extent, because the only person who lives in your body is you, and the
Yeah.
only pain who is going to suffer is you, or the suffering what is going to be happening to you. So it is understood that you need to know yourself much better than anyone, and you are the only person in charge of your body. The doctor might facilitate you, the healer might educate you, and tell you the path to walk and what to be done and what not to be done, tell you what is the best way you can harness your body so that you get all the best things. And let me start with the very first principle, that is, body heals itself. This statement is a very powerful thing, because I remember one of my friend, this was an incident. He came into our room and he just took a bottle and he started drinking without realizing that it was a very hot water, and he happened to burn his mouth. And we were all sitting for food, and he was not able to talk for a week or for 15 days, and that all happened. And what happened is that, when we were sitting in a table, there was a person from outside who was asking us that, sir, you have burnt your mouth, what is the treatment in naturopathy you guys are trying to do so
Recommend.
that you can cure? Yeah.
Mm.
So my friend listened for an half an hour, because he was forcefully asking him, pricking him, or poking him, so that he can provoke and answer back some or other thing. But at the end, before my friend took his plate and went out to wash his plate, he just answered him one thing. He said, body heals itself. So it was such a powerful statement which hit me hard, that whatever he said, it is true. See, he has already burnt his mouth. He has nothing to do about it, rather than to accept it and let the body to correct itself. So this statement blew my mind when he said that, after listening to a person who was just trying to poke him, to provoke him. But that principle swept my floor and blew my mind, and that is when I started understanding, this is deep. You need to understand, this is very deep, and it was going to take time to understand your own body and accept that your body will heal itself, provided the right environment, provided the right tools, and that is what will take you further ahead. This is number one principle. The number two principle is, the main cause of disease is because of fatigue, or fatigue of nervous system. And nervous system consists of our brain and spinal cord. And whenever we are agitated, whenever we are stressed and chronically stressed, that leads to a lot of problem mentally, and that reflects in physically as well. If you see a person who has then there is any kind of a physiological or psychological breakdown, his breathing tends to be changing. He tends to his hands starts trembling, because he is not able to control himself, or these certain things cannot be done, and these all leads to many of the problem, and that is mental or stress thing, and that is what leads to problem. The third point is which very clearly states that the body has to be taken care every day, just like how we bathe. Now, when we don't take our body correctly or take care correctly, that ends up being diseased, and that is when they say that all the metabolic end products which remains in your body or starts accumulating in your body leads to disease. And that is so true, because things we eat we dump in our body, or the obesity why we see, because that is an excess amount of fat which is being accumulated in your body, and more of it happens, more of lifestyle disease is going to come to your body, no doubt about that. And that is what is leading so many problems too. The accumulation of morbid matter or metabolic end products in your body is going to harm you and cause you diseases. Number fourth principle is acute disease is a remedial process. Well, acute stress is good for our body. Acute fever is good for our body. Acute sneezing or acute coughing, these all things are beneficial to our body because it's helping us to overcome the toxins which are there in our body. As I said before, any metabolic end product, you know motion, sneezing, sweating, all these things, that is trying to take out the toxins from your body. So when it does not happen, when you don't allow the acute remedial process, and when you try to pop a pill and stop it, we tend to do that. The reason why whenever there is a fever the body rises its temperature is because the bacteria or the infection which is there in our body, it cannot sustain above a degree of temperature, and that is why our body increases its temperature, so that through the thermogenesis, so that it can throw out the toxin or the infection from our body and help us be healthy. So we need to let our body to also do its work, and not immediately run to take a pill or take any other substitute, so that your body does its best work from its end. And that's the fourth point. Fifth point which it says is that food is a building material, it does not increases your vitality. What they mean is that don't live to eat, eat because you need to survive or live. And we tend to miss out that. And the only muscle which we are in not control is our tongue, because the taste buds are always on the edge, and we always want to have some or the other thing so that we can indulge in ourselves. And that is the most muscle which we need to learn to control, so that we stay healthy. And so that is what the context is, that don't you know live to eat food. Make sure that you eat because you need to survive and stay healthy. And that is what the crux of is that. Now the fifth one is the fasting is fasting is nothing else but the absence of food what you're taking, and this helps in healing process. And I was reading a medical literature, and what it says is that fasting helps us generate something called as autophagy. In 2016, this got a Nobel Prize for a person to understand and teach people about autophagy. What autophagy is nothing else but self engulfing or the self eating. Now our body starts through eating all the remaining products from our body, and that is what is autophagy. And this helps the whole process, and fasting is that process which helps us heal, facilitate the first principle itself. And coming to the I guess sixth, I finished sixth, I guess we'll come to the seventh one. Seventh is the germs are tend to be found in disease condition. They do not cause disease. What they are trying to say here is that our body has an immense defense mechanism, right from the nose, from the mouth. And the reason why we sneeze is because when a foreign particle enters, our hair follicles and our skin layer and our mucosal layer tends to get to know that this is something which is not required for the body or harmful for the body, and that is the very first line of defense mechanism. And that is when we start sneezing or coughing. And this is a body's intuition which is telling involuntarily taking care of you every time. by chance, let us assume that we tend to inhale or take an XYZ thing in our body. The moment when it goes to stomach, it has something called as acid called as HCl acid, which we all know that our stomach produces HCl acid to break down food. Now, then and there itself, it deactivates the infection or the any foreign body particle to make sure that it is thrown out of the body. And then through the feces, through the sweat, these all are taken care and they are thrown out of the body. So the germs are, germs do not cause diseases. Germs tend to live in a disease condition, and that is what they're trying to say. So number seventh is what they say is that physical activity helps in balancing and balancing our nutrition and drainage. Well, that is, we'll discuss detailedly in further a thing. But physical activities and top of the chart, as we all know, and as I've also emphasized on that many a times. The number eighth thing is best thing which would anyone can understand is that food and many other things tend to be in the chart. And let us the ninth point which I would like to point out is education. Yeah, education to the people, because many other medical system, what they try to do is that we tend to cure them or treat symptomatically, any medical system. But what we need to understand is that prevention is better than cure, and that is what the main crux of it is. The very next point is to have a faith and belief in the patient. The patient should have a faith and belief so that he can overcome the problem what he is suffering, and that requires mental ability and mental fitness or mental education for the person to understand that it is okay that he is suffering, and he needs to learn and understand and correct it so that he can come out of whatever suffering he is suffering from. These are the few 10 principles which naturopathy educates people. And when I look at the whole these 10 principles, what they say is that, prevention is better than cure all the time, and we stand for it. We stand to educate you. We stand to, empower you with the right tools so that you can be healthy and stay healthy and change your life. And we'll be hand holding you from illness to wellness so that you are staying healthy throughout your lifetime.
Wow, those are very powerful 10 principles of naturopathy. And I think the best part is that you are saying that what it does is it helps us to educate the people, the common person, instead of putting a kind of a stigma or a screen saying that, I know you don't know what it is. Because I think who best to know your own body than you yourself? I think we all
Absolutely.
started with that. And then the body is a very good healing mechanism. It has got its self-healing mechanism. We just
Yes.
need to create that healing environment for the body to heal itself. And
Yes.
unless we are educating ourselves, understanding what our body is capable of, what it is, what signals it is sending, we'll only be running in the dark. We'll just be hitting in all directions without having a clear idea about what it needs to heal ourselves. I think it's very, very powerful principles that you told, all these 10. I think going further, another question I would ask you. I think it's a little cliched question. I think it's a no-brainer, but I'll just ask you this question all the same because it's very important. That why should one look at staying healthy?
Well, this is very interesting. Why one should stay healthy? Now, I don't think so. That person, I've seen when I have worked in medical institution and naturopathy centers or wellness centers. What they tend to say is that at the end of the last day, when they are leaving, they say that I had a wonderful time. I feel so happy. So people don't come to be healthy or corrected. It's just that experience of being happy. And so people tend to find happiness, and then all things come in line. And there was a statement which was given by Naval Ravikant from his book Almanac of Naval Ravikant. At the end of his page, he has given a set of formulas of life, what he has over the time he has built up for himself. And the one thing which stated very keenly was that Happiness equals to health, wealth, and good relationship, and it should be taken in this order itself. That is what was written in the book, and it made sense to me because we tell people to be healthy, but what are they getting out of that? We never tell them. So if you see the whole day throughout the dinacharya, what we say, or the whole day, we all work towards these three things, and I will break it down because you will understand it much better. Now we all know that we all doctors tell you to do a physical activity early in the morning from 5 to 8, or 5 to 7. Work out for yourself, spend the time with yourself. That is what they say, and this is the time when you spend or invest in your health, so that you can create wealth from the time of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that is when we are all working to create wealth for ourselves. And after that is about good relationship, where we spend socially, we spend with family time, and we spend with gatherings and many other places we tend to attend after the, the last part of our day from 5 to around 9 or something, 9 to 10. And if we see, this is how it is broken down, health, wealth, and good relationship. Now when its statement was given, what I wanted to closely understand is that, health is first. Let us break it down more further. So health equals wealth and good relationship. That is what I state. Now why health equals good wealth and good relationship? Well, we all have heard that health is wealth. Well, we all know that, we vaguely say that, but we never break it down to a human being that why is it said that health is wealth. Because when you are physically and mentally healthy, that is when you are able to create wealth for others, so that they can create wealth for you. You can see, we all are helping someone to create wealth, and that is how it is being done from years to years together. The barter system you take, you help me, I will help you. Any of the business model you take today, it is in the same format itself. We help someone, and that is for the services we are getting paid, or for the work what we are doing, we are getting paid. And to do that in our health, to make a good wealth, we need physical health and a right mental health, and we need to be in the right place of both these states. Now coming to the good relationship. Now to balance a good relationship, what we need is that emotional health and a spiritual health. These two things element will add a much more value to a human being. Understand, increases the curiosity, and helps him to be empathetic, not sympathetic but empathetic, to the surrounding what he is living, to understand the relationships with himself, with others, with the environment, with the world what he is living into. All these things add up. So when I finally broke it down, for me, health is nothing else but physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health, which gives you to flourish in all the aspects of your life. So that is why any doctor you see, he asks you to spend a morning few hours with yourself, so that you can, or you can, come in a very wonderful way in other segments as well. And this is what is about. So happiness is equals to healthy. So find happiness in whatever physical activity you do, whatever it makes you happy. For some people it is music what they find joy in. People in walking they find joy in. These are different things, and health should be taken or looked into a tool to make you happy. And that is what I would say, that this is the essence of health which I have understood over the time.
Very nice. Superb. That's very, very profound and very interesting. Health is equal to wealth plus, happiness. And happiness ultimately can be got through various means. But also
Yes,
important thing is, if you don't have the stepping stone of health, the others will not come in, and it doesn't matter also. Even if you have wealth without health, it doesn't matter at all.
right.
Yeah. Great. So what is the role of sleep according to you and according to naturopathy?
Sleep is a very significant part, as I have already stated also in your previous talk. I was reading a medical literature, and dreams.co.uk, these people specifically make up products on various sleep aspects. But I was reading their blog, and they stated that we human beings spend 33 years in sleeping. So that is our half lifetime, at least one fourth of our time in our, lifespan we spend sleeping, and we all tend to leave that, and we all tend to neglect that. I was reading another news. There was a survey done by Fitbit. I guess there is a watch called as Fitbit, and what they stated is that India is the second sleep deprived country, and this definitely leads to a lot of lifestyle diseases. And that is why I enforce people. And also, even naturopathy says that sleep is such an important element. Sleeping at the right time is so important. Sleeping by 10 is the max which we would recommend people. Reason being, after that your body produces something called as human growth hormone, and this helps in repairing your body, replenishing your body, and regenerating your body. And if it is a child, it helps in the growth of a human being. And that is why we tend to get to know that we usually see that whenever we are sleeping, that is where the time when we grow, or when a baby grows. We don't realize how the growth happens, we don't see it, because it is happening when you are asleep. And that is a very fantastic thing. And also, the hormone which helps you sleep, that is melatonin. Now, this tends to increase as the darkness increases, and that is why we tend to ask people to sleep in a very dark room, so that this helps you sleep better. And the amount of melatonin is also produced at that point of time, so that you can sleep. And the melatonin is a anti-cancer hormone which helps you, you know get rid of all the toxins also, and help you get rid of the multiplication of cells, because that is what the cancer means as well. And these are the some things which we emphasize on. And also, to take care of your circadian rhythm. What is circadian rhythm? It is a body's biological clock. Now, the reason why we get up early in the morning itself, because your body produces something called as cortisol, and this is a wake. It is a wake hormone. It is a stress hormone, but it also wakes you up to work in the morning. That is why humans sleep in the night and works in the morning. And as in the throughout the day, the cortisol tends to reduce, and the melatonin tends to come up, and this melatonin helps you sleep further. So taking care of your circadian rhythm is as important as to be noted. And coffee and tea are high stimulants, and these disrupt the sleep cycle. And that is why we tend to ask people not to drink tea or coffee after 2 p.m. at least. And when are they supposed to? Well, if you ask me, I would say don't drink at all. But people tend to usually, better time is 11 to 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. That is the much better time. Reason being, it is a stimulant, and it stays in your body for a certain hours of time, and it does not let you sleep. So as our sleep is important, try to restrict it or even reduce it. And if possible, please exclude it from your lifestyle, so that you can be healthy and give opportunity to your body, so that it can does all the things what your coffee and tea is doing to you.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I think such a simple thing as sleep. And from that, we understand that sleep is the time when our body is healing itself, recovering itself, and also growing. So
Yeah,
if we don't pay attention to the quality of sleep, the time, duration of sleep, and the time of sleeping or going to sleep and waking up, all those things have got the simple secrets for us to stay healthy for long. So nice. Very
absolutely.
profound. So, Dr. Aniket, thank you for this time and this episode. And I think our viewers would have learned a lot about simple aspects about naturopathy, things that can make a difference to them, and learnings from naturopathy, those 10 principles, beautiful. And also the things like importance of staying healthy and such a simple thing of sleep. If you can take care of your sleep, you can take care of your health in a big way. So, thank you for your time, and looking forward to the next episode with you. All the very best to you. God bless.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
These days,
popping pills for chronic ailments have become the norm. The trend of over-medication and self-medication are getting far too alarming. Medications are supposed to help us, not hurt us. No amount of external intervention can help unless the body heals itself. Our body is known to be an abode of astonishing self-healing powers. The immune system of our body is sophisticated, and the magical recovery ways of the body is much beyond the common man's comprehension. Holistic approach to health is becoming extremely relevant today. We need to empower our body's natural healing powers by adopting lifestyle changes for staying fit and healthy. And there should be minimum need for any medical intervention. Today's progressive wellness experts are working closely to ensure that focus is shifted decisively towards preventive healthcare so that people can enjoy the fruits of good health for longer. Chronic diseases and the so-called lifestyle diseases can be prevented and in most cases also reversed. We need to focus on educating and steering people towards an integrated approach to health and life and encourage them to make healthy lifestyle changes. Let's take responsibility to learn about our body and our health. On this channel, we'll be conversing with some amazing experts who are focused on optimal health, improved quality of life, and general well-being for all concerned. More power to holistic health.